Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make whipped body butter. It is one of my favorite recipes. It's super fluffy, super moisturizing. You guys are gonna love it. Okay, so what you're going to need, the ingredients you're going to need in order to make this is you're going to need 7 to 8 ounces of shea butter, or a cup. I say 7 to 8 ounces because this is 7 ounces and I just use the whole container. You're also going to need a half a cup of sweet almond oil. And both of these I just picked up at Super Supplements. You are also going to need half a cup of coconut oil. I just got this at Target, so any organic coconut oil should work. You may also need some cornstarch later on. And then keep in mind, you're also going to want some airtight containers to store this in when you are finished with it. So these I think these are 4 ounces, 3 or 4 ounces. Mason jars work really well. You can reuse this container as well. You can also get some cosmetic, little cosmetic containers off of Amazon that work really well. This recipe will make it will fill about 12 of these. So keep that in mind. These make great gifts, but it does make quite a bit. You will also need, equipment-wise, you're gonna need a hand mixer or an electric mixer. I will tell you, an electric mixer works a lot better. It makes it thicker and fluffier, but a handheld works great as well if that's all you have. You are also going to need a double boiler. If you do not have a double boiler, I just use a pot, fill it with water, I put in a strainer, and then I put my stuff in a glass bowl to melt down. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cup of shea butter and your half a cup of coconut oil, and you're going to put it in here, and we're going to melt it down until it's completely liquefied and clear. I usually put it on medium high. And so we're just gonna melt that down. Okay, so you're gonna wanna melt it down until it's clear. And this is what it's gonna look like once you've melted down the shea butter and coconut oil. It is clear. You don't want any cloudy lumps or anything in there. You want it completely clear. And then you're gonna add the half a cup of almond oil. And I've already added my almond oil into my mixing bowl. So we are gonna put this in with that. Now you're gonna wanna make sure before you lift this up that it has cooled because it was in hot water. So I had removed the strainer so it would cool down just a little so I can actually pick up the glass bowl. And I do wanna let you know that because we are using essential oils, you may want to use a glass or metal mixing bowl. That way it doesn't stick into a plastic mixing bowl. So you're gonna lift this up and we're gonna add that to our almond oil. So now we've got our almond oil, our coconut oil, and our shea butter all in one container. And then you're just gonna kind of stir that all together really well. And then we have to let this sit in the fridge for about 3 hours to return to a solid state before we can whip it. So mix that in very well. And now we're just gonna put it in the fridge for a few hours. Okay, so now that our coconut oil mixture has sat in the fridge for about 3 hours, you can see it has returned to a solid state. And so now we're gonna whip it. That's the fun part. So if you have an electric mixer, you can use an electric mixer, which is the better option, or you can use a hand mixer. It will still work the same. So we're just gonna put that in. Lock this into place, and you're gonna slowly start the mix. Now we're gonna have to mix this for about 10 minutes. So it does take a little while to get up to that fluffy state. And then as it goes, you can add a little bit of cornstarch, and some people actually use beetroot powder to add a little bit of color. So if you want to use beetroot powder instead of cornstarch, you can do that too. At most, I would probably add a tablespoon to this. The purpose of the cornstarch is to kind of thicken it a little, but it's also to cut down just a little bit on the greasiness. So you just want to add just a little bit of this as it mixes, and you may have to slow the mixture down when you add it so that it doesn't fly everywhere. And then we're gonna mix for about 10 minutes. All right, so we've been mixing for about 10 minutes now. So we are gonna turn this off and lift this up. And you're gonna see how fluffy this is. It is super fluffy. It looks like marshmallow almost. Like, I really wanna eat this, you guys. All right, so now that it's been fluffed for about 10 minutes, I mean, oh my gosh, you guys. Now is when we get to add the oils to it. So you can do this two ways. So this is the base. That's what I like to call this. This is your whipped body butter base. Okay, so you can either make one big batch of the same oils. So you can just dump the oils you want to use into this and mix it up. Or you can make individual batches. So if you want different scents or different uses for your whipped body butter, what you're gonna do is mix them separate. You're gonna put whipped body butter in the container, and then you're gonna add 8 to 12 drops of the oils you want, and you're gonna mix them individually. I'm just gonna make one big batch, and you can use any oils you want, you guys. So I'm gonna use oils that are good for your skin and dry skin. So I'm gonna use sacred frankincense. I'm gonna use myrrh. So there's myrrh, sacred frankincense. I'm gonna use some royal Hawaiian sandalwood, manuka. I'm gonna put a little bit of jasmine in, some ylang ylang, so that I can also add some good smelling. I like to have mine kind of floral smelling. But you can also make some for like pain relief, so like a pain rub. And you would just add, for that you would add some panaway, cypress, and peppermint, and copaiba. And then you can use that to rub in to sore muscles, and so then you've made a muscle rub with it. So you can use any oils you would like for any purpose you would like. If you want something that's gonna help you sleep, you can use lavender and cedarwood. So really, there's all kinds of combinations you can use. If you want something that's gonna help when you shave your legs, you can do some of these oils. You can also do, if you like them to smell like tropical, you can add a couple citrus oils. I will warn you, however, if you are using citrus oils in this, citrus oils are photosensitive, so you want to be careful. You don't want to expose your skin to sunlight after putting on citrus oils. So I will advise that. And so then what you're going to do is you're just going to mix it back up. And then after that, you will scoop it into your containers and you're good to go. You can give them as gifts. You can keep them for yourself. You want to store it in a cool place. If it gets in a warm place, like I sent it with a friend down to Arizona and it melted. And you can't once it melts, you cannot return it back to a solid state. So just keep that in mind. You want to keep it in a cool place. But yeah, That's how you make quick body butter, you guys.